Hello, Akwaba to how to learn Fante with English and French on the Prof Magic channel. In this lesson, we will be learning rules governing past tense. But first, let's learn something about Ghana, the land of gold and hope. Now our lesson. Apahon kabia. Past tense. Say compose. In the first part of our past tense lesson, we learned that Fanti past tense are grouped under those ending with consonants and those ending with vowels. Under those ending with consonants, we treated the rules under those followed by an object or a modifier and those not followed by an object or modifier. Similarly, for verbs ending with vowels, they are treated under those followed by an object or a modifier and those not followed by an object or a modifier. Part 1 of our past tense lessons gave us the rules for treating verbs ending with consonants. In this lesson, we'll be taking a look at verbs ending with vowels. For the first case, verbs followed by an object or a modifier in a sentence. We saw examples of verbs ending in consonants and are followed by an object or a modifier. Similarly, for verbs ending with vowels, example of cases where they are followed by objects or modifiers are mebafie, musu daba, yeje sikapi. Those words in red are what we refer to as objects or modifiers. In the second situation, for verbs not followed by an object or a modifier in a sentence, we discussed those consonants in our previous lesson. For verbs ending with vowels, we have meba, musu, yeje. For verbs ending with vowels, if the last vowel has a Y sound, a, e, o, or a as in da, a as in te, as in chre, o as in to, or as in do. Then, if the verb is followed by an object or a modifier, we double the last vowel. Example, meda ho, ote nzibi, wachre hen, Yεtooe no, hon do hon. However, if the verb is not followed by an object or a modifier, we add an E suffix. Medai, ote, wachre, Yεtooe, hondoi. In the second scenario, if the last vowel of the verb has a narrow sound. I, E, O, U. I as in si. E as in tie. O as in so. U as in tu. Then, if the verb is followed by an object or a modifier, we double the last vowel. Me see down no. Ote ndwom. Wo so nchirifuan. Yεtooe prego. However, if the verb is not followed by an object or a modifier, we add an E suffix. Me see. Otie. Osoi. Yεtooe. Let's take a look at some more examples. Verbs followed by an object or a modifier in a sentence. We have already seen the case of consonants in our previous lesson. For verbs ending with vowels, as we have said already, we double the last vowel of the verb. Examples: Metena ho, Musun daba, Yeje sikapi, Mebo fim, Uzi ezibano, Okun fum, Yakun dejata, Yesre mwa. For the second case, for verbs not followed by an object or a modifier in a sentence. Again, we have seen the case where the verbs end with consonants in our previous lesson. For verbs ending with vowels, as we have said already, the rule is add the suffix a or e to the verb. Examples: mefai, musui, yeje, metenai, ozi, opei, yesire, uchiai. However, there are exceptions to verbs ending with vowels. Though the verbs do, ko, and to end with a vowel, they are exceptional and must be used according to the following rules. Case 1. When do, ko, and to are followed by an object or a modifier in a sentence. Do, the past tense becomes do. Example: mudur ho. The past tense becomes hun. Ihun me. Ko. The past tense becomes kor. Yakor fi. The past tense becomes Example: okum. To. The past tense becomes tor. Tor ha. Please remember, the vowels are not doubled. In the second case, when do, ko, and to are not followed by an object or a modifier in a sentence, the past tense of do becomes duri. Example: muduri. Becomes huni. Ihuni. Ko becomes kore. Yakore. Becomes kumi. Okumi. To becomes tore. Otore. Second exception. When a verb is followed by wo. A verb followed by wo should be treated as a verb without a modifier. Examples as follows. These are the exceptional rules in the cases where verbs are followed by wo. This also applies to verbs ending with consonants. For verbs ending with consonants, add the suffix double E or double I. Mesawe wo school. Musome wa sor. Umkere wo he. Misiwe wo fie. Onome wo ha. Ishewe wo ha. Itimi wo echir. Watame wo sor. Remember, but for the wo, these verbs would had their last consonant doubled instead of the double E or a double I. Similarly, for verbs ending with vowels, we add the suffix E or I instead of doubling the last vowel for cases where a verb is followed by an object or a modifier. Example, mefai wo fie, musui wo ho, yɛgye wo ha, mutui wo ne nsam, ozii wo sum, ɔpɛi wo beebi foforo, yɛserɛi wo wo hɔ, wokyiai wo ha. Again, please remember, but for the wo past tense of these verbs that are followed by an object or a modifier would have been obtained by doubling the last vowel. Now let's take some more examples. Mutu de anoma. Utui. Mutun pan. Wotoin. Oje abufran. Yaje. Mijina pondo. Yejinai. Onunu nsunumu. Wonunui. Mefre kwesi. Kwesi frey. Upwe ho. Nraba nupwe. Ubwe. Abobo nubwe. Miyi aban. Araba yi. Musuru abebeon. Yesrui. Medase. Mesrel. Kamu azusua ozi iye chirin. Na mahenu mfa brofo na French kasa. Insua Fante kasa. Wabra yerusua nzamba a ofa Ghana ho. Sika kokko na eidado asase ho. Mrohwe kwande. Bebe kenkan wadwenchire. Mesrel. Ma free de. Beba beka mo ho. Ama yesua pi. Yamemwa na timnkai dono do. Masabese azusua foforo ba yehu.